Coronavirus cases in Maryland near 220,000. Nearly 100 more people are in hospitals across the state this morning. 50 more people have died. That is the biggest daily spike since May. Governor Larry Hogan laid out plans for distributing the vaccine once it's approved. He says the first doses could be given out next week, but it will not be available for the general public until sometime next year. WJZ is live. Annie Rose Ramos has details on the plan. Good morning, Annie Rose.
Lynn, good morning, and that's exactly right. Most of us won't be able to get this vaccine for months, potentially in the spring. But Pfizer will be one of those first vaccines to go out, 50,700 doses. But Lynn, it still won't be enough for every frontline worker to get it.
Everybody involved believes that it's safe and very effective, more effective than almost any other vaccine in history, and that's going to help us save a lot of lives.
Governor Larry Hogan laid out a timetable for the initial distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine. On Monday, if the federal government grants approval, the Pfizer vaccine will start going out, and the Moderna vaccine will be distributed the following week.
To help demonstrate confidence in the safety of the vaccine, I want to make it clear that Lieutenant Governor Rutherford and I will both take the vaccine in public.
Healthcare workers will get the vaccine first, followed by people at highest risk, like those who live in nursing homes. Next, other essential workers and those at moderate risk, followed by the general population.
While we expect that limited availability initially, we do believe that we will continue to get doses, not just in the first week, but in the second week and in the weeks and months to come. Ultimately, our goal in Maryland is to make sure that COVID-19 vaccine is available for every Marylander who wishes to have it.
Marylanders will have their vaccine records kept and tracked online. The state has spent $10 million on supplies to distribute the vaccine, and a new Department of Health order allows any healthcare professional to administer the vaccine with training and supervision.
The state of Maryland has signed up for the CDC's pharmacy program, which is a partnership that the federal government has contracted with CVS and Walgreens.
We've got to convince folks to do it, or we're not going to be able to stop the spread.
And Tim, the governor added that once a vaccine becomes approved for school-age children, it will not be mandated, but it will be strongly encouraged. And at this time, the governor did not add any new restrictions to Maryland's businesses. Reporting live, I'm Annie Rose Ramos for WJZ.
Thank you, Annie Rose. About 6:35 now, the president of UMBC and his wife volunteered to participate in the Phase 3 trial of the Moderna Vaccine candidate. Now, they're encouraging everyone to get the vaccine once it's approved. Dr. Freeman Rabowski and his wife, Jackie, both got the injection at the University of Maryland School of Medicine back in September and October. Now, since it is a study, it is possible that they received a placebo. But Rabowski believes they got the actual vaccine because they experienced a couple of days of fatigue after the second dose.
We were doing it because people of color, especially African Americans, have been really worried about taking this vaccine. People need to know that people of all races have been involved in this work. We have no choice but to take this vaccine.
Rabowski says some of that distrust can be traced back to systemic racism in medicine, but he points out the people involved in developing the vaccine, including UMBC grad Dr. Kismeka Corbett. Well, she's one of the lead NIH researchers on Moderna's vaccine.
The Anne Arundel County Health Department releases new guidelines on how long you should quarantine. Officials say you only need to quarantine for 10 days, not 14. If you have a test negative, you only have to quarantine for 7 days. The St. Mary's County Health Department and the CDC recently released similar recommendations.
There are now more than 15 million coronavirus cases in the United States, and the death toll continues to rise. Cities and states across the country are enacting new restrictions, including stay-at-home orders and curfews. Now, as the holidays approach, officials from the CDC project the death toll count could exceed 300,000 people by the day after Christmas. The state's restaurant and food service industry has lost approximately $1.4 billion in the sales due to this pandemic, and as seen, as many as 150,000 employees furloughed or laid off. Amy Kawada with more now on how local nonprofits are offering some relief.
As the COVID-19 crisis continues, restaurants are fighting to remain open.
With sheer grit, I think, and determination.
At Dylan's Oyster Cellar in Hampden, they're feeling the impacts from the kitchen to the dining room.
Our staff is on the line. Like, we're talking about layoffs again, and that breaks my heart.
According to a new survey, the Restaurant Association of Maryland says 45% of restaurant operators in our state say it's unlikely they will still be in business 6 months from now if there are no additional relief packages from the federal government, surpassing the national average of 37%.
And here at Dylan's Oyster Cellar, the staff just finished building what they're calling heated huddle huts as an option for diners.
Restaurants are already in the red. They've already taken a big hit, and this is an extra expense that they weren't anticipating.
The Baltimore Restaurant Relief Fund has been working to find a recipe for recovery.
Hoping to support, restore, and rebuild the restaurant industry after this.
The nonprofit organization is rolling out a new $20,000 outdoor dining support grant to help 20 Baltimore City and county restaurants.
Our goal is really to give restaurants just support.
As restaurants try to navigate through these challenging times, they say any little bit helps.
Being able to have outdoor dining is key. It's huge. Like, we need people to come out.
And each restaurant awarded the grant would receive $1,000. Applications are open now. The deadline is December 18th. If you're a restaurant owner and interested, you can head over to our website, WJZ.com, for more information. I'm Amy Kawada for WJZ.